Okay.
You're just putting on a show.
Yeah?
Duh. That's what we do.
That's called our fringe.
Interest in the topic in general is very high. The idea, when I'm like, do you have a regular strategic planning framework or infrastructure that you follow on a regular basis that like includes this type of stuff? Every single person is, of course, they're like, no, what are you talking about?
Our adoption of the Rockefeller habits to increase its influence in our company and its uptake, the increase in our perceived market value for all our clients has shot up drastically in less than a month. That's a huge win, actually.
Yeah, because I brag all the fucking time. I'm like, yep, this is a rock. Can you see that we did it? I'm like, hey, this is a rock. Hey, this is part of my one-page plan. Yes, this is my brand promise. Our fucking, brand promise is this. Our values are this. I'm like reciting it like over and over all day long. And it's so true. It is. It's like your strategy is your plan, which is your sales, which is your marketing. It's all the same thing. So all I have to do is talk about the same shit at the business and away from the business. Right? It's fucking cool.
Okay, well, welcome everyone. Our inaugural monthly managers meeting.
Should we have like a red ribbon or something?
Okay, so the first half of this is an opportunity for us to have some training, education. Alex is under duress and going to provide some education on the time trap today.
The objective is to honor the time trap principle that we can only ever do one thing. We want to eliminate task switches as often as possible. And we don't want to proceed to lesser priorities until all higher priorities are done, regardless of our emotions about it. Basically, as a result of your functional duties and your roles, you end up with competing activities requiring your attention. And we just want to make a list of them and then get them in order. Literally, this is how it works. I'm done the last thing and I'm about to start the next thing. How do I pick the next thing? Is it this? No, this, no, this, no, this, no. Yes, great, that's what we do. And so then when I updated it and I ended up having 12 now instead of fucking 5, which is where I started with, and then this was at the bottom.
Yeah.
I just wrote a note here that I think I've just switched in how I'm computating. Whereas I previously resisted project planning my business development priorities, breaking them down and pre-scheduling them. If I don't now pre-schedule them and get them into this category, I'm never going to get to this. Okay, my objective is that we all have one of these. What do you think of this shirt? My mom got it for me for Christmas. It's got this cool flap. Doesn't show any buttons.
It's a good looking shirt.
Thanks, Warren. That's the direct type of complimentary feedback I was looking for.
I don't like blue, but other than that.
You do you, buddy.
Well, no one else will.
Oh, well, they might.
It's okay, it was just a joke.
I like your reaction, Jamie. It's my fourth.
We're on version 4.
Version 4, 2 weeks in, guys. You're behind.
But yesterday it fucking worked. I got all of the most important things done yesterday. Straight up. No confusion. Was able to identify them. Category, it was like I got here, what is it? Got here, what is it? Got here. I have found that there's been 3 or 4 occasions where I am automatically beginning to do something and I have to actually be like, wait, I haven't, this isn't the thing. And I like kind of back up out of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this other thing actually. Okay, so this should empower us to be totally clear that there's just shit sometimes you're not going to get to the bottom of your list and that's life. Okay, so let's talk about controlling space and let's talk about stacked desks. A stacked desk is a desk that has more things on it than the one thing you're working on. If you have a stacked desk, to get to the one thing, you have to dig through other things. And then you end up touching things way too many times. And every time your attention switches from one thing to the next thing, you're actually task switching, basically. And if you're staring at your desk and there's other things in your field of view, they're always capturing attention. Whatever that means in terms of storage requirements, we will go fucking buy it. It will pay for itself in the first day. And it's all about the task switching and the attention switch.
But wouldn't you do that anyways if you had a storage place? You'd end up task switching while looking for it in the first,
Yeah, but at least I'm now in the process of looking for the one thing I am going to work on.
And while you're working, you're not seeing everything else.
Correct. The activity of looking for the thing I'm going to work on is now its own thing. It's not a thing that's always happening right in front of me.
Right.
It's a chapter in the book, but it makes so much my sanity. Like, I sit at my desk and it's just got my trinkets and shit. Like, I just sit there and I'm like, I love being here. Sitting down at like a brightly lit, clean ass desk with my 3 monitors, I feel like I'm in a fucking space station. I feel like ready to work. Whereas when I have like notes, piles of notes, I'm like, oh guilt, fuck, and like fucking 25 minutes later, I'm like, oh, I finally can do the thing. What was the next item?
Well, you said
You
controlling
said-
space and stack
Yeah.
desks.
Controlling space. We have an open door policy, but functionally, an open door policy allows for interruption. So, I'm John and I come into your office, right? And here's the door. I'm now dominating you, commanding you into my attention, and you can't make me leave. And so the first question is, how can you make somebody leave? Stand up. In order to qualify them and get them to leave without doing a bunch of chit chat, stand up in your own space while they're standing in your space. And that will encourage them to leave. The other thing is, if they come to you specifically to ask a question, do not answer the question while they're there. Say, I need 5 minutes and I will come to your desk. That way they go back to their desk so that when you go to help them,
Yeah.
the minute you're done helping them, dominating them in their space, you can fucking leave. And so that whole philosophy is just about capturing your minutes back as a manager and as a team dependency, being able to help people with team dependencies, but not allowing them to burn 20 minutes. Well, like, I don't send you away from my office. You come and stand it between our desks all the time. I intentionally do not evict you. But I'm sitting there thinking and monitoring that this is exactly the manager's space management thing that's going on when you're doing that.
Okay. 15-minute break then. It's 2:36. We'll be back at 2:51. Okay, then I'll get up.
Control that space.
That's right. Lead by example.